Hello, everyone. Dr. Allen here. Hope you are having a great weekend. Um, week three, unbelievable. A few things I should, again, I guess I'll say this every week. The summer is so crazy sometimes with these semesters. I should have everything graded, hopefully by Monday, Tuesday. I think last week I had the Google Classrooms up by, I was late Tuesday, early Wednesday. Sorry, sometimes they take me a little longer because I have to enroll in the classes. Main thing I just wanted to say is the work has been great so far. So thank you very much. I know sometimes with these classes, I feel like everything's just a info dump. So credit to you all for getting through everything. Second thing, I hope everyone's getting outside a little bit. When I recorded last time, it seemed like we were having a lot of rain. It's been nice this week. I'm actually just got back from hiking with my son up at Catoctin Mountain. That's why I'm in a Nationals t-shirt, and I think I had my shepherd hat on last week, but I got it on again. Um, but I wanted to get this out. You may be watching this on Sunday. You may be watching this on Monday. You may be watching this in the middle of the week. Hopefully, it'll be up a little early. I'm going to jump right in. Like I say, I'll try to keep these as short as possible. The main thing I do want to say, I will go over the tech like I did last week. I will make sure there are YouTube support videos up because I know I'm probably going to buzz through them, especially because there's three techs. Really, there's going to be four because of something I'm getting ready to talk about because it was totally on me. Um, so there'll be four techs because thanks to those of you who emailed, because on the syllabus I had Canva due on there last week, and I said I would put it up on the discussion board. I actually still, when I went through, it was bothering me. I was like, well, I know I had that Canva. I did have it on the syllabus for last week, and it should have been last week. I accidentally bumped it into the week three. I think it's still actually sitting there because I need to update it. It's somewhere in there. But anyway, the reason why I even bring that up is because what I'm going to do. I was going to make it on a discussion board, but I just thought that would cause confusion. I'm going to actually leave the Canva assignment up to complete. It's a very simple one, I think, and a lot of you might be familiar with it. The only difference is I'm not going to have a due date for it until the very end because I feel like that was totally on me. I appreciated the emails because I thought it was in there, and it was. It was just in the wrong spot. It was kind of starting to drive me nuts a little bit, so I went and started going through every module, and I just put it in three. With that being said, I am going to show you Canva. A lot of people are already familiar with it, but I do think it's something a lot of teachers seem to use. So it's a nice, gives kind of that quick professionally-ish looking thing with flyers and all. We're going to look at formative assessment tools, things like Kahoot, quizzes, and Gimkit, Bookit, all that type stuff. Padlet, which I actually do use a lot. I don't know if anyone people do. And another one of those AI texts that's getting very popular called Gamma. It's a pretty simple one to work with this week. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. Like I say, I'm going to just basically do deep dives, not deep dives, but quick in, show you what it does, maybe an example. And I will have YouTube videos up if what I go over is a little too quick in terms of the assignments and things like that. The very first thing that you have to do, I think I had the Canva in here. If I do not, I'll have to jump up. Yep, there it is. Information graphic. By the way, I have one called Easily in here. You do not need to worry about that. I'll retake that out. Last semester, or maybe it was in the fall. I used to use it. It was the first infographic tool that seemed to be kind of popping up everywhere. It's a little clunky. It's gotten a little better, but Canva has by far passed it in terms of popularity. So I'm going to actually just take it out. But basically, I just want you to make a infograph with Canva that you can use in your classroom. It can either be related to a lesson, it could be an announcement, it could be for a dance, it could be for a club, it could be for anything. I'll show you an example. I just used it, and actually, I'd say it was successful. Um, I made an infograph. I did a study abroad back in May, and I just used Canva for our meetings that we were going to do. And I put a little QR code in there for anyone that was interested and hung them up. You may have seen them around Canudi if you walk around. You may have even seen it around Canudi because I think I had it study aboard instead of a study abroad on it for like a day until someone pointed that out. So please make sure you read your infographics before you post them. But Canva itself is actually a pretty easy tool to use. Let me go back. I jumped right in. Again, you can just use your Google account and just sign in. Also, Canva does have different levels of membership, don't pay for any. Strictly use the free one unless you already have something that's a little more souped up. I've had the souped up one. I found I didn't really need it because what I was doing was not that in depth. I did have access to a little more templates, which was nice, but by and large, for what I use it for, the free kind of does what I need. But anyway, if you go to templates when you sign in, there's all these little things that show up. You can do searches and anything like that. Basically, you can just pick one, replace current page, and you just basically just go in there and just click and clean up. You can put images in there, you can slide them in, you can change the wording. I don't, that's all you need to do. And once you get to it, let me go back to my home. Boop. Um, when you go in, I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but you see you can do projects and you can see there's recent ones that I've done. But if you go to templates, and when you pick one, there's a whole bunch. There's presentations you can do. I don't care what you do. I said infograph. Really, these are all kind of infography to me, so it's fine. Whatever you choose to do. I just want to see you use Canva more than anything. Um, However you want to do it, posters are a very popular one, and you just pick one of those. And you can, like I say, you can just do it as an announcement. You can do a lesson, but you just go in, you click which one. Some of them, if they are not free, don't do them. Some of them will have little stars beside them, like that one does right there. Don't do that. You want to use the ones that don't have those if you have a free account, because it won't let you do it. It'll try to get you to purchase it. But I would just pick one personally, and when you customize it, you just go in there and you just start modeling it and put in what you want. Like if you want to go in there and put, I don't know, World War, and then you can just start going in there and just come up with something. Nothing more, nothing less. Just kind of fiddle around with it. And when you get to it and you want to share it, all you have to do is hit share. And you can either do the download, which you can download as a PDF. It's usually the easiest, or whatever, or JPEG, just as long as I can see it and do that. Honestly, if you want to screenshot it and submit the screenshot, that also is fine. Someone did that. A couple people did that for, I want to say it was the Google LM, one of the assignments that is just coming in, and that was fine. I really, as long as I can see that you did it and I know that it's there, I'm okay with that. Um, you can share with a link. Either one works, but just go in there and make something of your choice. Something kind of schooly related if you could. But that's it. That's Canva. If you do have questions, there'll be a video up and you can always email me, but I have to apologize. That was totally 1000% on me. I don't know why I put that in week 3. It was driving me nuts after I got like 2 or 3 emails and I was like, ah. So that's Canva. Let's jump into the next one. I'm going to jump into Gamma. Gamma is another one that's you have to do this week. Gamma is it is an AI tool. Again, you can sign in with your Google account, and once you get in there, let me go back. Can I go back to the home page? It'll come in and it'll have a page like this. Let me see something here. I was just seeing if I had anything I could just jump in. Let me go back here. I just want to show you something. Sometimes I get to talking too fast to get these videos done. You'll just go to Gamma. It's Gamma AI Power Creations. And what this is, I think it's pretty cool. You have to watch because it's also, I think in some regards it's so cool. You have to make sure that it's putting in what you want. But basically you can load notes. It's almost sort of like Google Notebook LM in that you can put notes, but with this one you can do prompts like World War One, and it'll make PowerPoints for you. It'll make websites. The websites aren't as good as the PowerPoints in my opinion, but you just click. I think I'm already signed in, so it's going to go to my home page. But once you get in there, you're going to get a page that looks like this. As you can see, I have used this, and I have used it. I experimented with it in one of my classes last semester a little bit. But you'll go in here. You can do import. You could bring in something of your own. I would like you to do this though. It's just a very simple thing. Once you get to here, hit create new AI. And as you can see, you'll go here and it'll say generate, post in text, create from template, import file or URL. You can actually put a website in here and it'll create a PowerPoint from that website. It's all really cool. And honestly, I would suggest maybe playing with it a little bit. But for this assignment, what I would like you to do is simply this. Go to generate. And as you can see here, it'll say, describe what you would like me to make. 10 cards, classic. I think with the free account or the limited account is you can look up here. I'll go back and show you here in a minute. You have credits, so you can only make so many of these for free. But as you can see, you can do graphics, you can do social. These are all cool. If you want to fiddle around with it, that's great. I would like you to do a presentation, but for example, if you did, I'm doing some research right now on teaching the 1970s and actually developing lesson plans. So I'll do something from the 1970s. Let's just say 19, whoops. I get to this page after I do create. Let's go back, generate. I'll type in, let's see. I'll do the year of my birth, 1975. Um, what was happening? And that's my prompt. So I'm going to generate an outline. And as you can see, it's going to go on all these things. It creates cards. And if I'm okay with these cards, Fall of Saigon, political guard, economic turbulence, highs and lows, sports, um, the world in flux, pivot. I like that. That's pretty good. I can add another one if I want, but you don't need to. I'm good with this. You can edit these if you want. You can just go in, as you can see, or you can move cards around. Once you get to this point, you're going to hit generate. And what Gamma does is it's going to make a PowerPoint. And it does put a little thing in there generated by Gamma. Um, you can load your notes and stuff into there where it said filed. You're welcome to do that if you want. Excuse me. I'm gonna get a drink. You are welcome to do that. I think the prompt is just, it gives you an idea of what Gamma does. Again, for this class, I just want you to know about the tech a little bit and kind of just get a moment to play with it. But you're welcome. If you have notes and you want to put them in there and develop one of these, that is fine. Um, I think you have to watch a little bit with things like this, though. Like I say, I used it for my notes in my Ed 200. I kind of gave them the heads up that I was messing around with this a little bit. And hide that. And the reason why I say you got to watch a little bit is you don't want what you're teaching to be dictated by what's on the PowerPoint, by what's on Gamma. Like you can go in here and change it. You always want to do the prep work with the content. So what I just did here, I would never really do. Well, let me rephrase that. I would already have notes done for 1975 if I was teaching on 1975. I might have Gamma create it and see what it comes up with and then start to alter it a little bit. Another thing I've noticed, this is more just, I have a very small sample size. I have a 17-year-old who he's a little iffy on AI. He's very iffy on AI. Like he would, if he saw this right here, he would get on me immediately. And Gamma does have a function where you can use AI images or not. And I thought it was on here somewhere. Let me look. It's down there. Add card with AI, add template. You can change these, like you can make it a non-AI, remove that, edit image. So like you can turn into an image card, change layout. Let's edit image. And as you can see, you can change it, auto select. You can go through and you can actually find ones that are AI or not. Um, I personally, for this assignment, I don't care. I actually might go back through and show you where to do that. I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but I do notice students are a little more prone to laugh at, like, look at this Jaws. That looks absolutely horrible. And as you look there, it actually has a little bit of a mess up there. Um, so it's a cool feature. I'm not going to be grading on content itself. I just wanted to point some of that out. I actually, by and large, think it's kind of neat because I've been able to take my type notes and do some cool stuff with it. And actually, this is pretty good um, in terms of the content. But let me go back here. Boop. As you can see, it's there. I'll create a new one. I don't, here's where you can do the pen or the template or just paste in. You can copy and paste your notes and it'll make it in there or from a file. Let's see if I can upload a file real quick. I don't know if I have anything really cool that I can use. Oh, let's do do, do, do. I don't think our syllabus will be that exciting. Um, oh, Apis. Let's try that. Okay. Let's upload the file just to give you an idea. Okay, it's there. Presentation. Sorry, I have a little card here, so I'm taking a drink. I wanted to look, continue, and it should, as you can see, it's got too many cards, so I can upgrade, but it's only doing a few of them, which is fine. And that's the thing. I don't want you to pay for more. It'll do so many of them. Um, so let's see. We'll do 10 cards, and I wanted to really just show you text context. Ah, here it is. When you do this, and even with the prompt, let's go back. I'll go back one more. Home. Let's create new. I'm going to do a generate. Let's do 1973. What was happening? And it should come up with this. And when I go there, we'll generate. And it should, if you notice on the sides here, it should ask me to about the cards. Did you, I kind of put that down there, but it had AI imagery. If I wanted it or not. Why is my face jumping around there? Not what I want. All right. Let me look at something here real quick. And as you see, it's doing that AI imagery again. I want to see something. I don't want to close it while it's doing it. And it should be getting down there. Boom. Okay. And as we get down there, cool. Okay. Now let me go back and I want to make sure images. Oh, infographics, upgrade. Yeah, there's this. You see, you can upgrade, and then also you can go in here. You can do your AI images. You can actually just have it pick internet images to stock photos. Boom. And you see, you can add those in there. Um, I just wanted you to know you can for this assignment, the AI images are well. I just didn't know if you were interested, if anyone was not. If you weren't one of those people who like AI imagers, I have to admit I'm not the biggest fan of them, and I actually thought there was an even easier way to add this, to change that. I will double check on that. I feel like there was an easier way to do it even than for that, because if you look on there, sorry, I'm kind of off a side track a little bit, but I just wanted to make sure I wasn't doing you all for. Let me see something here. Help Center, non AI images. Okay. Boom. Let's go back. Yeah, I think it's just there. Upload, and you can do them on each one. And then you can do that. Edit image, edit with agent, fingers point. Let me see something real quick. Change layout, edit image. Ah, there it is. Photo. Boom. Okay. Yeah, you can definitely change them. All right. Images, ratio, this gamma. All righty. Yes, you can definitely fiddle around with those images. But again, for this assignment, you can. Sorry, I was got a little brain lock there. I'll send out an email though on that. Sorry, I was probably talking too long on that. Feel free to skip over that. But for this assignment, you just need to do the prompt and come up with a PowerPoint like what I just did. That should be that. And I'm going to go ahead and close that out and make sure my Canva is closed and my Gamma is closed. And we'll keep working here. Next, um, this is another cool feature. I like this one a lot. It's called Padlet. You may have seen Padlets before. Um, Let me see something real quick here. And I am going to, and sorry, I'm actually had a pause there. I had a call. Padlet. I know I mentioned this. Padlet is something that I've used a lot over the years. I think it's pretty cool. I was seeing if I had any sample ones on here. I do. Padlet's kind of, you can use it in different ways. You can use it as a like a chat space. You can use it as some place to just gather information. You can make maps out of it. Here was one I did on the UK map that I had shown people. Like you can put points on there and have students go from point to point and they can comment. Like I was doing my study abroad. This was an assignment I actually did for them, and these were places we were actually going to. So obviously the airport. Um, but as you can see, you just hit this and you can add new things. So like I'm jumping right in, I know, but let's just do Paris, France. And boom, publish. And it puts a new thing on there. So students can go around and click, but really I'm putting the cart before the horse here. So I'm going to click out and I'll show you what we need to do. All right, so, and as you can see, I've also done one, Has Assassinations Changed History? Here's like one, this is a traditional looking Padlet. Um, this is one that was done using the Library of Congress's observe, reflect, question method. So what I had students do is I would put something related up to assassinations or something related to that, and there's a prompt, and then you can comment right down there, and students could put things underneath there. Um, you just share the link, and they can just go at it, and they can work on it all at once. Like it's a living document. We called it when we talked about that before. Um, oh, hyperdocument, thank you very much. I can spit that out. Um, so, or a hyperdoc. So let's just go back. Again, I know I'm babbling a little bit, so I want to go in there and make sure I actually show you what we're doing. So again, create an account. You can make 3 Padlets for free. So Google should let you sign in. If you want to make one, you just hit make. So you can see there's all these different types of tab ones. Um, you can do whatever you want. The timeline one is really cool. The map one, I kind of just briefly, I know, just put it on there randomly. I just showed you. There's the columns, the wall. I think the wall is the most famous one. Padlet is famous in any regards. Um, and then you just go in there and you post, and you can do, and as you can see, you can change colors and things like that and templates. But um, if I was going to do one on World War One, again, I don't know why I'm stuck on that, but I guess I am. World War One, and as you can see, different wallpaper. We'll do a different background, and you can see there's different things. We'll hit that, save, keep working, and we'll save that, and we'll X out of that. And so you can see there's different things here you can add up. This AI thing is a new one. Links are new. I'm just going to do a one. We'll do map of World War One. And as you can see, you can do videos. You can have students watch. You can do GIFs. Let's just do a video. I don't know if anything will come up with maps on that. Ah, there we go. That's probably a little long. You post this on there. Boom. Simple as that. I'd like you to put 5 things on there. So you can just put 5 things related to a theme. So let's do another one. Let's do an image. Actually, you know what? We'll just do an image like this. And we'll just do a GIF. And we'll do World War One. And let's see. I don't know if there's actually a GIF. Oh, well, there you go. Why don't we do it this way? Oop, and go. And oh, there are some. There's trenches. And as you can see, it's loading it. And as you look, I kind of probably didn't do this very well. You can actually do on there, trenches. And what do you think life in the trenches would be like in 2 words? And you put it on there. And you can rearrange these things. You can, put them there and things like that. Let me go back. And if you need to edit it, like I probably do for this one, like it might be, what is the first thing you notice about the map. And I know that's a video, but you get the point. And 141 map. And we'll update. Boom. I just need you to do that. And you can pick whatever template you want. You can do a timeline, you can do a stream, you can do a map. Again, just play with it a little bit. Put those on there, and all you do is share. You hit that right there. And again, you can do the link, you can do the QR code if you want. Most people like to just export as a PDF and send. That way they know it's going to be there and it'll be posted. But I'm fine if you want to do a link. The only thing is if you do a link, make sure that I have access to it. Visitors with a link. Make sure that, writers can, as long as I don't need to write on the Padlet, I just need to be able to see it. So if you could do that, but it is padlet.com and you're just going to put there on there, so many on there. I think I said five, but let me, before I said that like three times and didn't actually look at the assignment. Yep, five. There it is. And you can do whatever you want with that. The next thing I was trying to think anything else that I was wanting to make sure there's Padlet again. The Gamma one is not showing. I'll make sure that's showing for you all to post. Um, the infograph. When you do the Gamma, I did not say this. I'm going to go back. Let me go back to Gamma real quick. Sorry, I know I'm kind of space cadet a little bit on this. When you want to share it, I didn't know if I showed you that. You can just simply do the same thing. You can just export it as a PDF if you want, or do the link. And it's right there off of that. So those three dots if you need it, or if you click it, there should be an option up at the top. Yeah, right there. Sorry, I didn't show you that, so I wanted to make sure to do that. And last but not least, when we go in here and look, you're going to see. Okay, and last thing, sorry if there's a little choppy there. I had to pause and jump in. I have my kid was driving meeting someone on there. All right, and let's go. So, as we kind of go in here, the last but not least with everything, um, formative assessment tools. This is really the big thing this week, and actually, you could spend a whole week on, I think, any of these tools, or actually these tools in general, but the concept of them. Um, there's a whole list as you can see there. Really, especially Kahoot, Quizlet Live, GimKit, Blookit. Um, I am. I want to make sure I say this right. I'm fine with whatever one you use because I know a lot of people, especially in the graduate section, are already teachers, so you probably use some. There's probably ones that are coming out that I have not even seen yet. I'm going to show you Kahoot mainly because that's the one I used even pre-pandemic, and it has actually gotten a lot more. It's a lot fancier than when I used it. Sometimes I think less is more with these things. Um, but I'm going to show Kahoot. You are welcome to pick any of these that you're comfortable with. I know a lot of people, especially in elementary, really like Blookit because they've seen it, they've used it. My son actually likes Blookit a lot. He says they use it still in class and things like that. So even in high school, some people use it. So I'm fine with whatever one you do. I'm going to show you Kahoot though. You do have to make 10 questions for whatever one you do. And I do want to say a couple things before I jump in to show you the Kahoot tool, the actual, I guess, slight teaching aspect of this. And what I mean for this class. These things, we're getting so much technology so fast that's being incorporated in the classroom. And I do know a lot of times schools are stressing the use of different technologies because they pay for these tools, they want you to use them, yada, yada, yada. Just especially with these I guess it's the gamification, so to speak, of the classroom. I like these tools. I used Kahoot a lot, especially when I was doing eighth grade, because if you're West Virginian, you probably are familiar with the Golden Horseshoe. We used to review Golden Horseshoe questions with this. I did History Bowl, my History Bowl teams, and it was successful. We usually were able to at least win a match or two or go to states or whatever. We never won states, but they wanted to get to Charleston. That's neither here nor there. It was good for rote memorization, so to speak. The only thing I would just say is when I do teaching observations, sometimes I will see student teachers use these. especially like Kahoot. And students, like say you have a class of 20 and 15 miss the question and they'll move on. The whole point of this tool is if 15 of your students are missing a question you feel like they should probably know, you need to stop or you need to write it down and go back. This is the tool is to help you know what your students understand or what they don't understand. It's not just to do, a game, so to speak. I think that's pretty much common sense, but I feel like I need to say that. The other thing I would also say, just from personal experience, because it is a game and it's competitive, especially with younger students. When I mean younger, I'm not talking just K. I'm talking like maybe K through eighth, maybe K through seventh, maybe K to 12. I don't know. Um, Make sure you have a set of guidelines how you conduct these games because especially when Kahoot first started, I know a lot of times students would be engaged with it, but they were more worried about winning, and the class would get kind of loud, which there's good loud and bad loud. And if they're engaged in the content, I think that's good loud. But if your principal walks through and the class is absolutely bonkers, that's not always a good thing, even if it's good loud, so to speak. I hope I'm making some sense here. What I used to always tell my class, we will play Kahoot, and they would like to play Kahoot and go through and things like that. I would not like. I didn't want to do a question and then have to wait 5 minutes for the class to calm down. So my rules were, we play. You can quietly, briefly, no noise or anything like that. We go to the next question. Or if there's a question about the question, I wanted to make sure I could hear that. So I would always say, make sure you have a good set of rules. There's different ways to do it. That was just my personal thing. It was like you could quiet cheer just so I could hear questions or identify problems and make sure that we're not being an absolute nuisance to my next door neighbors. So, with that being said, I'm going to show you Kahoot. This is formative assessment, though. This is nice. You can download data and stuff from all of these usually, too, like misses and things, and what's successful, what questions they struggle with. So, again, another good thing for EdTPA. Um, I am going to go to Kahoot. Again, you can sign in with Google. That's awesome. I left this screen up here on purpose because this is probably one of the most common questions I get every semester. A lot of times when you create a Google or a Kahoot account, if you do Kahoot and you go in and you sign in, even if it's Google, this screen will pop up and I'll have someone say, "You said we didn't have to buy anything." You don't. This is just them trying to sell it to you. Uh, this is Google, this is the plus and this is the one. You can do maybe later or you can just X out. Nice. Luckily, I think with the X out there, I didn't get it as much in the spring. It used to be this wasn't here and you had to hit that. And a lot of times I think people didn't see it. You don't need this. Get out of that. Um, so as you can see, there's different things. Kahoot's got a lot on here. They have pre-made templates. That's another thing I should say with all of this. And I may have said it in one of the other videos. And I feel like these get so long that I'm trying not to throw everything out. But um, don't trust your fellow teachers so much in the content they make. And what I mean is you can use it if you find something that looks really cool that was made by another teacher, that's fine. Make sure you check that the information is correct though, because I have that's another thing. I'm not even going to say co or student teachers. I've seen other teachers, they're in a rush and they're trying to find something and they'll look for something and they'll type in like World War One and they'll find a Kahoot and they'll just use it. And some of the answers will be wrong. And it's kind of like, make sure you check what it is. That's something, if I haven't said, you always have to be careful with teachers pay teachers too. So, um, anyway, we'll go back on here. As you can see, I haven't made one in a while, but I have tons of them from when I was teaching. And I've actually done a few at Shepherd also too, but as you can see, a lot of history bowl, industrial history of West Virginia, Cold War, and things like that. A lot of these were made 2019 pre-pandemic. You can get reports, things like that. But with all that being said, we're going to go back to the home. All you have to do once you get to this screen, hit create. You're going to hit Kahoot. Again, you can load some things in. You can do a generator. I want you to do blank canvas. That's this. That's a traditional Kahoot thing. As you can see, you can set the standards. I don't care what you put on here. I will say this. If you are going to maybe use this, and this applies to all of them. I think 20 seconds is probably more than enough for a question because if it gets too long, it gets, I think it's students who answer quick um, might have too much time. But I mean, you literally are just, you can just go ahead and start going in here. Okay. What year did World War I start? And I like the images. Some you have to pay for. GIFs are fine. You don't have to put an image in there, though. I'm not going to make anyone do that. Um, but if you do, that's great. And you can put one on there. And then, of course, you can put 1914, 1915. We'll go with that. We'll just do two. Um, as you can see, that's quiz type, and you can see you can do true and false. There's a whole bunch over here. If they have the star, that means they cost a little extra. So quiz is fine, true and false is fine, poll is fine. Um, whatever is available, we'll add that. Boom. We're going to add another one. So that question should be there. We'll do another quiz, and let's make sure, yep, that's there. So we're going to do this. What year did the U.S. enter World War I? And 1900, 1914, 1917, 1919, and it's of course 17. And you can do it on there. We'll just do Great War. I like that I had that on there. And that's what you keep doing. You just keep adding, and you're going to do 10. And when you get there, once it's done, we'll hit save. Um, one, and you can hit share. You can just send the link if you want. If you want to screenshot it also, that's fine. That's no problem. If you screenshot it, let me go back and hit that. Or as you can see here, you can also, you should be able to share it. Boom. If you screenshot it, it's fine because honestly, I probably be able to see all the questions on the side. So that's no problem. Um, that's it. I know that was a babble, and sorry, there was probably a couple awkward sounding ones in there between. I had a pause. I'm in the house by myself, and the phone was ringing. So I think that should be it for this week. I know that was a long one. I'm sorry. I do try to bust through them, but I'm a yacker, and we're doing a lot in a short amount of time. I will hopefully have this up. There'll be some references to some tech. I'm going to clean this up before I post it officially, probably Sunday morning. I'm recording this on Saturday. The easily will be gone. Wakelet should be gone too. I like Wakelet. It's a pretty cool, I think, especially for teachers. You can actually check it out if you want. I used to have a Wakelet or Padlet choice. The problem is Wakelet has started to chart. It used to be all free. You could have unlimited like folders. Now you can only do three, and I don't think for what most people seem to like Padlet better. So I just kind of ditched the Wakelet once it started to cost more money. But the assignments for this week, just so we're all on the same page. Formative, that's the Kahoot, Quizlet, Booklet, whatever, just 10 questions. Padlet, make a Padlet. It can be a timeline, it can be a map, it can be a word wall, 5 things. Canva flyer, that's due at the end of the semester. If you want to do it this week, that's great. Just an infograph, something related to your class, an announcement, a dance, a school function, whatever. Um, Gamma is not listed on there. Gamma, I just want you to make a PowerPoint. You can just type in a keyword, print them out, or make it run down. Download the PowerPoint and or get the link, submit it. And discussion three, blog three. If you are a graduate student, don't forget that the research paper, it is not due this week, but it is coming up fast in a couple weeks. Those topics are on there, and I'll make sure it's posted on there. But with all that said and done, that should do it. And again, I'm sorry if there was a couple spots there. I had to pause recording if I came in kind of clunky. So with that being said, I've talked enough. My gosh, I apologize. Um, that should do it. Thank you all very much for all the great work, and I hope you are having a great summer. The work's been phenomenal. So, talk to you later. Bye.